Alice had been sitting by the riverbank with her sister for a long time. Since there was nothing to do, she started feeling bored. She kept glancing at the book her sister was reading, but the book had no pictures and no conversation. Alice thought, what's the point of a book with no pictures and no conversation? It was a hot day, and she was very sleepy, so she even drifted off. However, Alice still wondered if making a daisy chain would be as much fun as picking daisies was troublesome. Just then, a white rabbit with pink eyes suddenly ran past her. Alice didn't find it strange, and she even heard the rabbit muttering to itself, "Oh dear, I'm too late," and Alice didn't find that odd either. Although later she thought it should have been strange, at the time, it all felt perfectly natural. But the rabbit pulled a pocket watch out of its waistcoat pocket and hurried away. Alice jumped up, suddenly realizing that she had never seen a rabbit with a waistcoat pocket before, let alone one that could pull out a watch from it. She curiously followed the rabbit across the field and saw it jump into a large hole beneath a low tree. Without thinking, Alice followed suit, not considering how she would get back out. The rabbit hole started as a corridor, straight down, and then suddenly turned downward. Alice hadn't had time to stop herself, so she had plenty of time to look around and speculate about what would happen next. First, she looked down to see where she was falling. But it was too dark to see anything below. So, she looked at the walls of the well, which were lined with cupboards and bookshelves, and maps and pictures hung from nails. She grabbed a jar from one of the shelves, which was labeled orange marmalade. But it was empty. She was disappointed. Afraid to throw the empty jar down, she placed it in another cupboard before continuing her descent. Alice thought, after this adventure, they'll say I'm so brave. Falling down a flight of stairs is nothing in comparison. Even falling from a roof isn't a big deal. Well, maybe not from a roof, that might hurt a lot. But now, will I ever reach the bottom? Alice exclaimed. I must have fallen miles by now. I must be getting near the center of the earth. Let me see, that would be 4,000 miles down, I think. Yes, that's about the right distance. Alice had learned a little about such things in school, although this wasn't the time for showing off her knowledge because there was nobody to hear her. Still, it was good practice. She didn't quite understand longitude or latitude, but she thought they were nice-sounding words. Soon she spoke again. I wonder if I shall fall right through the earth and come out the other side, where people walk upside down. How funny it'll seem, sending presents to one's feet. And how odd the directions will look, but what are opposite feet? The 19th century geography textbooks had a popular term for the people at the Earth's antipodes, those with their feet opposite to ours. Alice's concept of people on the other side of the earth was vague. She thought they would be walking upside down and mistakenly pronounced opposite feet as opposite people. Let's see what happens next. This time, Alice was glad nobody heard her, as the term opposite people didn't seem quite right. I ought to be able to ask them what the name of the country is, you know. Please, ma'am, is this New Zealand or Australia? She even tried to curtsy as she spoke, fancy curtsying while falling through the air. Do you think you could manage it? And what an ignorant little girl she'll think me for asking. No, it'll never do to ask. Perhaps I shall see it written up somewhere, down, down, down. There was nothing else to do, so Alice soon began talking again. "Dinah'll miss me very much tonight, I should think." Dinah was the cat. "I hope they'll remember her saucer of milk at tea time. Dinah, my dear, I wish you were down here with me." Alice felt that she was dozing off, and had just begun to dream that she was walking hand in hand with Dinah when she suddenly woke up with a start. Alice was sitting on a heap of dry leaves and twigs. She had fallen to the bottom at last.